when you try. The pursuit of a higher place puts you in an unfamiliar space. Don't fear, it's by design. He was preparing you to shine. Oh, you shine like a million suns. Oh, you shine like a million suns. You shine like a million suns. You shine. The conscious mind cannot confine you. I heard you when you said that things have got to change, and your friends didn't understand that you had to take another stand. The pursuit of a higher place puts you in an unfamiliar space. Don't fear, it's by design. He was preparing you all the time. Oh, you shine like a million suns. Oh, you shine like a million suns. You shine like a million suns. You shine. The conscious mind cannot confine you. Yes, you do.
Jackson. If you could make up a social media holiday, what would it be?
Randy said National Don't Let No One Put You Down Day.
No one. What you gonna do? So when they say something crazy, you slap them?
Be like me said. Remy said a Jukathon Day.
Man, we about 60 years old. I be done had a heart
You gotta get your heart rate up.
Okay, not that far.
All right, Mario said my favorite one. My friends and I do what we call National Call Off from Work Day.
As a business owner, I don't.
You don't like that, yeah?
I don't like that.
Because I'm the boss of this family.
We got Marcus Garvey Day from Remy too.
Oh, Marcus Garvey Day. All right, what will we do on Marcus Garvey Day?
Call off from work.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. That would be great. Okay?
Yeah, right.
Every black holiday has something to do with calling off from work.
You're cool. I'm out.
About National Join a Positive Black Organization Day, because I don't want to be recruited. I don't want to be recruited and the brothers be like, thank you. Thank you. How about National Tell White People the Truth Day? Tell them how you really feel.
You can't handle the truth.
Why don't we call that National Black People Get Locked Up Day?
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Hello.
The most dangerous show in the morning.
Tune in every Sunday. Don't miss it. Live from the West End for the Black People Media Studios. It is the Kickoff Kickback. Join the conversation with the brothers, Eugene McIntosh, Herb Howard, and myself, Terrence Tomlin.
We got analysis live from the stadium. The brother Joe Lewis will be following through. We got great guests coming in, players, personnel, people.
Say what?
We do our thing every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, taking you right up to kickoff.
We picking the full slate of NFL games. We talking fantasy football. Gino got you covered on all the bets. It's a kickback.
Make sure y'all join the conversation. Smash that like button, smash that share button, and continue to help us push the culture forward.
Don't miss it every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, live here from the West End for the Black People Media Studios.
Are you curious to explore the intellectual currents that channel our thoughts and frame our reality? Have you ever meditated for relaxation and accidentally discovered the universe in the process? These matters and many more you may never have even thought of will be yours to explore as you come with me into Muwakil's world. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
WIIFTBP, media's just for you and me. WIIFTBP, media's just for you and me.
WIIFTBP.
Live from your media studio. You're listening to Book of Dawn. With Dawn Millhouse.
Book of Dawn. Book of Dawn. Book. Good morning, sunshines. Good morning, Mr. Millhouse. Good morning, Esco.
Good morning.
You turkeyed out? Are you over turkey?
You know what? I'm more of a ham kind of gal.
Oh.
But my dad outdid himself this year, and the turkey was better than the ham.
Well, I'm going to bring you some ham from Honey Bay. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah. I heard it was fire. I don't eat it, but he loves it.
I ate the ham.
Okay. You're listening to the Book of Dawn with both Millhouses because it's a let's get down to business Millhouse Monday. Usually Millhouse has Fridays, but here he has Mondays and Fridays. It is Monday, November the 30th, the last day of the month. Did you know that? Wow. Too much information, but November comes from the word 9. I'll tell you all about that tomorrow when we're not talking about business.
Right, it's business.
It's 34 degrees outside, and it's snow flurries.
That's right.
Let it snow, baby.
Oh, well, yeah. Because that's business. Let it snow, right? I forgot. Snow.
That's right.
Right. The Game of Thrones said, so what is
Winter is coming.
Winter is coming. And it's as good as it's going to get. It's 34. It's going to be 34 until tonight when it's going to be 23. Put your coats on. It's National Mason Jar Day. He for real is a weather. He in real life, this man will, when the weatherman comes off TV, he's like, let me check the real weather and give facts. But he's actually getting pretty good at it. I'm like, okay, Mr. Millhouse, what's the weather? And he's like, the tornado is, when my sister was in the hurricane,
how scary.
Like, there's the eye of the storm. They are moving left, the trajectory of the schmolecularly. I'm like, that's why he is an engineer and I have a master's in marketing. That's all. I'm going to sell you some clothes or a lifestyle, and he's going to figure out the hard part. So is our special guest today. She's in the Dr. Smart STEM people world as well. It's National Mason Jar Day. You know me and my jars. I'm gonna have to get my sister-in-law into jars so she don't leave the grease in the pots no more. I have to get her into some mason jars. It is Cyber Monday. Get your shopping on or not. You might as well shop today because they said if you don't do it today, it won't be delivered before January in my black voice. Okay. It's also National Security Day, so computer security. So make sure you're on trusted sites because you don't want people scamming. Wilbur told me about a new scam.
Another one? Oh, God.
No, a real one, like some Social Security scam or something like that. They filed for Social Security for him.
It was great.
And his human resources company told him, like, you looking for unemployment.
Greatest big scam.
Right. Happy birthday to my sister, who is also a Luther South Brave. Happy birthday, Lisa. Happy birthday, Denise. A lot of birthdays. Denise Bullock, Donovan Pepper, Taja Riley, Teddy Riley's one of his many daughters. Sherrod Phillips, who is my best friend Doris's little brother. Stacy Leak, Anastasia Sterling, who is your niece.
Yeah. Absolutely.
John and Jody Donahue,
Y'all know
Yvette.
how much family I got?
Yeah, I know.
How much family done found me?
Right.
I feel you.
Yeah, after your when you moved on up to the whole 29th floor,
your cousin. I'll be like,
no, they always come through me. They're like, hi, can you tell my okay, you should call him Ben.
my eyes be like this.
Ebony Phillips, who is Doris's baby sister, Chrissy Teigen, Ben Stiller, Winston Churchill, not to be confused with Winston Millhouse, my dog. Winston Kane, Lord Winston Kane Millhouse. And Rotimi, y'all know Rotimi because he was Andre in Power. Maybe TMI, but you know I love Power. The word of the day is acquiesce. It is a verb. It means to accept, comply quietly. It comes from the Latin origin. Used in a sentence, I would say, will Donald Trump ever acquiesce to the election results? And on that note, we're going to tell you in this short break we're going to have. I shopped at Robin Patrice this weekend. I can't wait for my T-shirts to come. Hey, Robin, that was me. I ordered T-shirts. Don't be salty. That was the one I ordered. Robin Patrice is the home of the flyest handmade items, from soaps to lotions to men's grooming. She got everything, and it smells great. RobinPatrice.com, 2 B's, R-O-B-B-I-N, Patrice. That's her mother and auntie's name. I just found that out because she told me.
Some stuff for me?
Yeah. Okay, heck yeah. Oh, you're gonna love it. I don't want to compete with Tae, but I think she might be.
You know I'll be using Tae. So.
There's beard oil and everything.
Yeah, they got beard oil. You're gonna love it. Yes. See, Robin, you just got another sale. The Book of Dawn, Monday through Fridays. On Tuesdays till 12. I said that out loud because I won't be doing it every day.
I know.
You already know. Mays can say it until the cows come home. He is not going to manifest that through words. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, that's it. Black voice, Thursdays. The old people too. We're going to take a break, and we're coming back with Dr. Olatan Regis. Oh, I said that good. We'll be right back.
WIFTPM.
What's up, good people? If you didn't tune in to the last I Said What I Said, here's what you missed. This legendary journalist, man, his list of accomplishments goes on and on. He's an author, a brother. He is someone that, for me, I've looked up to literally since I was about 11 or 12 years old. And this was really before I knew his name. I mean, I knew what Slam Magazine was. That's kind of what you did as a shorty. But I didn't even know that he wrote for it, right? And I had read plenty of his articles, but I didn't know that the dude who I saw every morning on my way to school was Scoop Jackson. Eastside crazy, man. So, in growing up over there where I grew up, there wasn't a whole lot of positive male representation. I would walk down the block past his house every morning. I would see him coming out of his driveway, right? He had this coldest truck, black Pathfinder, if I recall. I would see him and he would always just take a couple minutes to chop it up, and it would just be me or, you know, a couple of my guys just walking to school. And again, over there wasn't a whole lot of representation of positive black males. I don't know that you were aware of the difference that you were making on us at the time.
I don't want to say I don't believe in the concept of giving back. I feel if you give back, that means that you left. So my whole purpose in never leaving the same neighborhood I came up in is that I never gave back. You just give. I would hope that I would have impact on what your everyday lives were. I could be the one dude in the neighborhood that stopped and spoke to you, which I think is really important.
Yeah.
You know, because young individuals in black neighborhoods, especially young men, get ignored very quickly. They get dismissed. Right. They get minimized. And the one thing, I still do it to this day. You know, say what's up to everybody, especially young brothers, because we have a tendency not to acknowledge one another. And I've never lived that life. My hope was that, you know, us having the small time and me just being there and you all, you know, just developing a relationship with me and me developing a relationship with you would have at least a small impact on you. It would give you like, all right, you know, there's some decent people around me. There's something I can look forward to maybe. If I don't have anybody else in this neighborhood that I can talk to that can identify with me,
right,
I can ring Scoop's doorbell. You got a good memory. It was a black Pathfinder too. You good.
Coldest truck I had seen. I was like, yo, that's raw. Cuz balling. I said what I said. Urban 2, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
Ooh, I got a mic in my hand, y'all. Step aside. Well, she's back. Good morning. Good morning again. This is Let's Get Down to Business Monday with Millhouse. You guys know what it is. The last Monday of every month, we talk about real business, not just the stuff that I figure out is important and talk about every other day of the month. Anyway, today we are... good morning, Mr. Millhouse. How are you?
Good morning.
Good. Tell us what's new in your business.
New in the business. It's snowing or going to snow. So Malachi and his team will be getting out there and doing the snow thing. So we're happy about that.
I bet.
All the other stuff is typical.
Typical. Okay. You still working with the mouse, right? You still working on some stuff. You divulged a little bit about the mouse.
The big rat.
He is not a rat. You know, I don't like rats. Just
so what happens when you go there?
To make
they take your money.
They take your cheese.
They take your cheese. Hey, don't side with him. He knows I love Disney World.
Absolutely.
Baby. I was like, we took the grandchild there
right now because they haven't opened up all of their different locations again. So they're slowly, progressively starting to figure out what they're going to be doing moving forward.
Okay. I asked Mr. Millhouse, would he do a drop for me? Baby, everybody, I have like 100 viewers. If he says, listen to the Book of Dawn, I'll listen to myself. Actually, if you say it.
Book of Dawn.
Yeah. They like, I love his voice. I'm like, me too. I'm just staring like I'm not married to him. Who does that? Anyway, I'm sorry, Dr. Regis. Chicago.
Doctor's in the house.
The doc is in the building. The doctor is in. Put that sign on the door right now so nobody interrupts us. Dr. Olatan Regis was a Chicago born. So I have some Chicago questions for you before you leave here. Okay. Yeah. Might have to you got to know some Chicago stuff about pizza and hot dogs and stuff.
Olatan or Olita?
Ola.
My full name is Olaitan.
Olaitan. And what is this your maiden name in the middle here that I'm not going to butcher?
Okay
to G.
Okay to G is my maiden name. Yes.
Okay to G. All right, I can handle that one. You Chicago born, but spent your formative years in Nigeria and the United Kingdom.
Correct.
But then returned to the States when you were 16. So tell us, was that a conscious decision that your parents made to send you to the United Kingdom and Nigeria?
Yes. I mean, my parents, they're from Nigeria, born in Nigeria. They came to the States for their education. Mm-hmm. And they realized that they wanted the best for us, as, most Nigerian parents. Education is paramount in our home. And you'll know a lot of Nigerians that do go to the UK, Europe. So anywhere you go, you'll say, "Oh, do you know this Nigerian person?" I'm like, "No, I don't."
Right, right.
Well, this is one of the things I definitely wanted to talk about related to Dr. Regis is the difference in sometimes giving that opportunity to have a different educational upbringing and enlightenment, and how that could be something that could be great for your children or for those individuals, and how it's just a different experience, because I know so many individuals from Nigeria and various other countries, and most of them go to Europe or go to U.S. and they do boarding school. Mm-hmm. And so this process started probably when you were...
Well, we moved from the United States to Nigeria when I was about 4 years old, and I went to school there, my primary schooling, part of it in Nigeria.
In Nigeria.
Okay. My parents decided that they wanted us to go to a boarding school, just as you mentioned, Wilbur, in England, and they had already picked a specific school because I had family members there. So they made a conscious decision that they didn't want us to go there on our own. So I went there with family, like my cousins, and my sister was there as well. So I wasn't on my own, which was very important to them because it can be tough. I was 8 years old when I went to boarding school.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's like second grade.
No, many times, many other cultures, that's part of the process of evolution of growing up, of going to school, 8 years old.
I definitely wanted to send my children to boarding school, but not until high school. You lived at the school.
I lived at the school.
But you were with other members of your family. Okay.
Correct, yes. With the exception of my brother, who went to boarding school in Austria. So, he was on his own there. I went with my sister, and I had, very close first cousins that were there. So I wasn't alone, because, 8 years old, can you imagine?
No, I wanted my mommy.
And I did.
Yeah.
I wanted my mommy. But it really taught us a lot about, time management, independence, education, because we knew why we were there. It wasn't like, oh, mommy and daddy don't want us anymore. That wasn't the case.
That's like, oh.
That's was like, what the? My mama, daddy.
That wasn't my story.
Do we need to take a break and come back? You okay? Okay. So wow, I didn't know you were going to say you were 8. That's that gives me a whole.
No. But that experience, especially when you do it, maybe not as young as that, I think it gives a very broad view of the world. I think so many times Americans have a very closed view of the world that we just think America. It is a very large world, and a lot of other people. It's only 350 million Americans.
Right.
That's very small.
Right.
But
how many people in Africa or Nigeria in
Nigeria
comparison?
Is about 200 mil.
Wow. So that one country in that big
one
continent.
Small country the size of Texas and Oklahoma, from a sheer size of, has about 200 million.
Wow.
It's big.
Wow.
A lot of people.
When you look at it on the map, you don't count that in your head because it looks
there.
so much. so like spatially, when you look at the map, Nigeria in that continent doesn't look like it's that close in population to what you perceive this United States to
Highly
be.
Populous, yeah.
Wow, so that's dense.
And
it's
that's
dense.
just, just Nigeria.
That's just
And
Nigeria.
that, right.
They probably got 1 billion people on the continent, 1 billion too.
Wow.
On the entire continent. Then China has 1.3 billion. India has 1.4 billion.
And we got 350 million.
Right, we're small.
Dang. Yeah, I concur though that that I think what we miss most as Americans is that exposure and that wherewithal of life is so much bigger than the neighborhood or the block or the state, and I think that is, I'll proudly say that our children are well traveled, and it's not always to other countries. It could be to another state or to another neighborhood. I think that awareness and exposure is probably allows them to grow differently than many. A lot of people have never been downtown.
Yeah. A lot of people have never been in a high-rise building.
Oh, wow.
We found that out.
My cousins. I was like,
we found that out last year. Yeah.
I'm only on the 29th floor.
Yeah.
29 floors.
Seriously.
I was like,
that can be daunting, though.
Yeah.
You're afraid of heights.
If you're afraid of heights, sure. So, Dr. Regis, you stayed there until then. If you returned to the U.S. at 16, did your family make the move back to the U.S. or just you?
Well, my parents, like I'd mentioned before, they were in Nigeria the whole time.
Okay.
And we would go back and forth between the U.S. And Nigeria. But at 16, we moved back. I specifically moved back for college.
Okay.
As you know, the universities here are very good.
Okay.
So that was the plan. It was, okay, you go to primary and secondary school in London, our private school, and then you come back to the States for college, and that's exactly what we did.
At 16?
At 16.
Okay. That's 2 years younger than the average American going to college. So.
It's advanced,
Okay.
The education, the British system is very different from the American system.
Okay.
Because it keeps going. It doesn't just, it's, if you talk to any child from Europe or London, their vernacular is very different. It's far more advanced, you know, and I think that's why here it's like, don't speak to your children like goo goo gaga. It's like, speak to your children like you're an adult, and I think we're catching on here. And so that's how it kind of started. It's like, okay, you get going, math, English, everything is like
really structured.
Right. And so by the time we were done, it's like, okay, you've taken all the requirements necessary and you can start college. We were like, okay.
So then how was that transition for you as a 16-year-old in another country, coming back to a completely, even though you visited here, to a completely different culture, and in Colorado, which is not
that was my
most,
brother's fault.
Yeah.
If you're watching, brother, thank you.
Thank you. Is that where he went? Is that where?
Yeah, he went from Austria to Colorado because he was with his friends. You know.
Oh, gotcha.
It was not my first choice.
Because that was a little different temperature, different cultural space. Colorado, Boulder, no less.
Boulder, Colorado.
What was your deal?
Buffs.
Go Buffalo. Brother, if you're watching, you're still in trouble.
He's in Nigeria, so thank you.
Yeah.
I love you.
Okay, and so you studied, what did you study in undergraduate?
Biology. Yeah, because I knew I wanted to be a doctor. You know,
had you decided at that point what part of the profession you wanted to do, or you just were taking like prereqs at that point?
Well, in my family, it's either you're a doctor, a lawyer, or a disgrace. So,
how about a PhD in disgrace?
So I didn't want to be
not the other D.
But no, I hadn't decided. My initial, I was very young. My mom told me that you've always wanted to be a doctor. So I didn't know in what capacity at that time until my last year in college, where it was just like, I don't know if I want to go be an MD, you know. And one of the nurses, I was working in a hospital at the time, and I was doing phlebotomy, which is drawing blood. Sorry to be so technical.
No, tell it. I've had the antibody a lot of times, so I understand that.
Every other week.
I know. Got to get that thing. So, and a nurse was there, believe it or not. And he was like, why don't you go into dentistry? And I'm like, no, that's not my thing. I'm not looking in people's mouths for the rest of my life. No.
Because that's kind of gross.
It can be. Yeah. I've seen it all.
I bet. Especially since I know your specialty.
But yeah, and I was like, oh no. He was like, try it. So I ended up shadowing a dentist in Colorado, and I loved it. And I have an aunt that's a dentist. It just didn't, it didn't come full circle for me. And I was like, I love this. This is awesome. I have autonomy. I have time with my patients. I can actually sit and talk to people. This is fantastic. And I can own my own business one day.
True.
And that's what I wanted. I wanted my own, and that's what I've always been taught. Get your own. That's how you have full control.
Now, did that happen through other individuals in your family that had businesses, or were you one of the first ones to go and do your own business?
No, and that's the funny thing. I've been asked that question a lot. It's like I've seen success all my life, family members who have their own businesses and been very successful. So this was just like another day.
So you saw the entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I saw.
Was it at home?
At home, my mom, my dad.
Yeah, that's usually how it happens.
Yeah, and growing up in Nigeria, I'm so sorry. Growing up
that's
in
your brother
Nigeria.
called. right.
Long distance.
I know. I'm like, I'm sorry, big brother. I apologize.
Shout out to Nigeria.
I know.
Frank's over there right now.
Hey,
Frank, if
Frankie.
you're watching.
Because you do know they can see us in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, okay.
I told them, look, this
Yeah.
is the time.
Wake up, set your clock, and you can forever rewatch it.
Yes, exactly.
7 hours ahead.
Hey, say hey, brother, if you're in this thread. Say
I know.
hey.
He probably won't. He's too
He's
private.
mad.
He's like, what are you talking about? That's not my fault.
Those are my friends. Okay.
Shout out to his friends, too.
Yes.
I'm sorry, where was it?
Wilbur asked if you're the consciousness of being an entrepreneur came from your upbringing.
Yes, it's been ingrained since I was little. It's what I saw. So it's just what I was supposed to do. It's just like going to school, higher education, college is equivalent of high school. It's like you got to keep going all the way to the top in terms of education. So that's what we did. It was never questioned.
So I guess my question would be, how many siblings do you have?
I have 2.
And a brother?
Yes.
So you're the baby.
I'm the baby.
So was there ever any time when this felt like extreme pressure?
Of course. I mean, my father, he's a PhD. My mom has her own business. And my siblings as well, they have their masters. So it was just like at one point from college, before I entered dental school, I was kind of wavering, and it was my siblings because they were there with me in Colorado. My parents were in Nigeria. They were like, come on, what's next? What are you doing? I'm like, calm down.
Right. I'm living life like our baby girl.
So it was them. So yes, there was that pressure at the time, but I knew it's what I had to do. I knew that I couldn't stop there because, again, I didn't want to be a disgrace.
Yeah. I like your mom. She sounds like my mom. What you not gonna do?
Yeah, I think we have to push our kids. It's like we don't want to just be okay with the status quo. With where you are. I've seen poverty. I've also seen people who do extremely well. I mean, you can be in Nigeria and you can live next to a shanty town.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You've seen it, Wilbur,
Absolutely.
right? So it's like you see success, you see extreme riches and extreme poverty literally right next door to you. And there are 2 extremes in Nigeria, So people see that and come here and are successful every day. So it's not impossible. It might be more difficult for some, but it's not I was very lucky. So my story is not going to be similar to others, because I was born in the U.S. So I had an American passport, so I was free to maneuver. My parents, it's a big deal. I was free to maneuver.
So can you guys expound on that? Like, right, you're free to move about.
I'm free to move.
Just what is that? Tell me, for those who may not know, what being born in the U.S. and having that passport versus being born in Nigeria. What is, you can't go to school here or what?
You can't come here.
Yeah, you can't come here.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
No,
For real?
the only people that can come to America are certain countries that already have agreements where you can freely come to visit.
Without a visa, yeah.
Many countries don't have that ability to be able to do that. Nigeria and several others are that way.
So if you're born
So it's
Nigeria,
2 things. Nigeria won't let.
What did I just do? I touched something. Maze is going to kill me. Oh, there. Wait.
Nigeria won't let their folks go, nor will America let people just freely come in the country.
Wrong picture. Tell Maze to come in here. Hey, y'all, I touched something. So we're just going to keep on talking. You just keep on talking. Oops.
So that's how that process works.
I never knew that.
It's not just in and out. You just can't.
So if I was born in Nigeria, if you were born in Nigeria,
a blue passport is very special.
I never.
And all of the different colors of the passport matter. So when you see someone, you kind of know what their abilities are based on the color of their passport.
I had
Is
no
it maroon?
idea.
Is it-
I'm sorry, I
is it
touched something I
green?
shouldn't have.
Is it red? Is it blue?
So Nigerian-born people can visit here with a visa, but cannot attend school
Unless they have.
unless they have a U.S. passport.
Well, no, you can still attend if you have like an education visa. I forget the name specifically of it, but you can go to school.
Okay, but you got to go back on home.
Well, you
after
have a temporary visa for
Okay.
education, but a company can sponsor you if you choose to stay here.
I don't know what's going on under Trump. I have no clue.
I-9.
Thank you.
Oh.
It's like a lot of Asian people.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But under Trump, I have no clue.
I can't
I'm
even-
sure it's very, very difficult.
Very
but
difficult.
Yeah, but praise God for Jesus. How many days we got? About 60.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of us. I'm sure you've met a lot of Nigerians. Wilbur, you have some working for you.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, it's like.
So off subject. So Michelle Okacha, she was born here, so she has a.
She's
same-
African American, so she's from here.
Okay.
She married in Nigeria, and she lives basically in Nigeria.
Okay, got you. So she'd keep her American passport, or she get another
I don't know.
one? Okay.
I mean, you can have both.
Okay. Okay.
She
You can
has-
have dual citizenship.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so let's
I
then
think all
talk.
African Americans should claim a country in Africa that they're from and get 2 passports.
Can they do that?
I think we should.
I think that'd be a great idea. I mean,
Up for conversation.
yeah, that's a good. That might be a UMA's conversation in the collective. That would be a really good collective. The collective is on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and it
This is when you're doing your 3 hours.
No. That's Tuesday. But the collective is an open slot as they are seeking new talent to fill in this 2-hour window. Because he keeps trying to make me do till 12, and not doing it, and you know the bull. So whoever he can collect for them 2 hours, whoever is basically. And so one day he collected me, and he was like, "Hey, this is the."
So
and I
Monday?
said Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from. What time is the collective, Esco? 12 to 2.
Freestyle.
No, 11 to.
We're going to call it freestyle.
Oh, 1 to 3. 1 to 3. And so he was like, what is the name of this? And I was like, we're going to call it the collective because you collected me out of the hallway and you collected somebody else. And then we had a whole show. So he's like, that's a great name. I was like, yeah, copyright that. But yeah, it's actually pretty cool because we have no idea what we're going to talk about. You just come in and collect and talk. And YouTube would be real. That might be a whole nother show. And you know, Maze would love to have any more thing he can talk to the people with. Because Maze said that's his thing. You have children. You have a baby.
I just have to say, I would love to be a fly on the wall in your home.
Right.
I would just be like this all day.
You know what? We're
That's completely her.
He's my spirit animal, so that is not me. You should see him in the morning dancing, getting ready when he wake up and it's a Michael Jackson day. He's brushing his teeth, doing his moonwalk and all kind of stuff.
I think you're saying too much.
Look at his face.
No, I mean, I've been
Yeah,
get
see,
pumped up. I mean,
It's
like
Michael.
going off to war. I mean,
listen, we're going to take a break, but I want to. You talked about something that I was unaware of, and I would like, since you now have a baby, if you'll continue in the footsteps of your parent in the rearing of your child. And the other doctor, Regis, is watching. I don't want you to say anything that you haven't already discussed with him about the. I don't know if he.
She's going to go to boarding school?
In London, yeah.
Not on her own. I wouldn't send her on her own.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't send her on her own.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not at 8.
Not at 8.
No.
Right.
No. But I'd consider it if I had like cousins and everybody that they were together and do it, because that's how it was done for me. But I wouldn't do it. I mean, it wasn't easy. For the first couple of months, I was calling for my mom. I wanted my mom, and one of the things I remember was calls were limited, meaning there would be.
Got you locked down.
Yeah, they would, because they don't want you to sit there and complain. They want you to just kind of keep moving and kind of form a camaraderie with other students that are going through the same thing. So it's just beneficial. I don't think it's something that you should rule out because it's like, oh, my baby's gone. I think it's something to consider if you can go with a group of people. Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad thing. I wouldn't send her all the way to England by herself.
Yeah. Okay, well, that makes me feel better for the little future doctor. I mean, she's the child of 2 doctors.
No, my mom's not a doctor.
No, your little one.
Oh my, yeah.
Yeah. So that's doctor or doctor. Lawyer's not even in the mix.
Well,
that would be
She
doctor,
could be an
doctor.
engineer.
She could.
She could be an engineer.
Yeah,
Brian,
she
you
doesn't
hear
have
that?
to be a doctor. I've always said.
A professional engineer, not just go to school for engineering.
She just has to be successful, whatever that may mean to her. She has to do well. I don't want her to feel like it's okay being mediocre in our family. But whatever success means to her, whether she's an engineer, I was going to say an actress, but...
But Dr. Brian might be watching it. He's
better
like,
not
he's like,
even say actress.
I can hear his accent. That is not.
So many ways. So many nowadays. We're not limited, to the lawyer, to the accountant.
Yeah, don't talk to him about the lawyer stuff. He is not going to sign off on his y'all's baby going to law school. He's not signing off.
We got enough lawyers.
Oh, you won't sign off on that?
We got enough lawyers.
We're going to take
in the world.
We're going to take a quick break. We are talking to Dr. Regis, and we're going to talk. Wilbur wanted to have her here on a Let's Get Down to Business because he wanted to take it out of the context of Millhouse Engineering and talk to another business, small, new, but extremely talented, to give some perspective and insight on helping promote and support smaller businesses. So before
talk about the journey too.
Talk about the journey.
Talk about the journey of becoming a business, why, and all that stuff. So when we come back,
we'll talk. Here, read that commercial.
No, you know.
Go ahead.
Start kicking.
Are you ready? Are you ready for authentic, delicious street tacos on the south side of Chicago? Sissy's Pop-Up Taco Bar at 312 East 75th Street. Thursday and Friday this week. They were on break last week because they don't want turkey. No turkey tacos and no ham tacos. 6:30 to 9:30, experience jerk chicken tacos, sriracha shrimp, black and salmon tacos, and don't forget to ask about the Rome's Walking Taco from Sissy's. Hey, listen, they even have a kids meal with a prize in it. So, you know how many... Yeah, like a Happy Meal.
Taco Happy Meal.
Isn't that so cool? Visit sissystacobar.com for more info. Stay with us. This is the Book of Dawn. We'll be right back.
WIFTBPM.
Boys, step aside. The radio rookie is in the building. The Book of Dawn, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on What's In It for the Black People Media.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
WIFTBPM.
Not even if my boss should call. The world, it seems so very small. 'Cause nothing even matters at all. Nothing even matters. Nothing even matters at all.
Nothing even matters. That's a jam. Welcome back. You're tuned into the Book of Dawn weekdays, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. The Maze Jackson page, Facebook, Maze Jackson YouTube. One day we'll be Maze Jackson on Sirius, and maybe then one day I'll be on TV, like real TV, and we'll just stream everywhere. But for now, we're just going to make sure that the brothers in Niger are watching.
That's not real.
That what? What?
Oh. It's real.
Listen, we are joined, obviously, on a Let's Get Down to Business Monday with Wilbur Millhouse, Chairman, Founder, CEO of Millhouse Engineering and Construction and family of companies, including the one that I have the honor of participating often in, and that is the charities, Millhouse Charities. Joined by Dr. Regis, DDS, and now has her own practice in the city. But Wilbur mentioned talking about the journey of
getting there.
So
you made a decision at some point in time that, hey, I have these talents. I want to have my own business. You've seen other individuals with businesses. So what made you decide, and what process did you go through when you were starting to be an entrepreneur, an owner?
I think the most difficult thing as a healthcare provider is, trying to be a healthcare provider and a business owner, because at the end of the day, you know that you need to make money in order to provide the care.
It's important.
It's
Making
very
money is important.
And that's sometimes conflicting, because you are in the business or you are in this position to help people. But I graduated from Creighton University about almost 14 years ago, and I wanted to hone in my craft before I opened up my own business, because in all honesty, when I graduated, I knew nothing about business because it wasn't taught. I knew everything about dentistry. If you asked anything about dentistry, I knew everything about dentistry, but not business. And it wasn't taught in dental school. And even though I knew and had seen my family members being entrepreneurs, knowing and actually doing it are two very different things. So I decided, okay, let me hone in on my skills as a dentist and then, open up my own practice. And I made the decision not to start from the ground up. I made the decision to transition with an existing dentist who would...
Isn't that typical for most dentists?
Not at all.
Really?
Not at all. Yeah, a lot of people do build outs. They start from right from scratch.
My dentist just transitioned. That's why I thought I was part of what they did.
Yeah, a lot of new grads will, open up a practice from starting from nothing, but I wanted to make sure I had an existing patient base.
Sure.
To make sure money was coming in. Yes. And it's downtown, and I knew that I would have some form of attrition, meaning, if you've been with a dentist for 20 years and here comes this young Black woman coming in, and it's like, okay, this is what you need to do. People want to make their own decisions. And so I had more than 50% attrition. So when I came in, I thought I would have a lot of money coming in, but a lot of patients. There was a mass exodus. So I really kind of started from scratch, and so I really had to differentiate myself from other people. I had to learn about marketing. I had to learn how to balance books, and I'm still learning that, by the way, thanks to CFO extraordinaire, Dr. Brian Regis.
Yeah, I'm still trying to learn Excel spreadsheets. Like, it's not working.
Yes, he teaches me every day.
That's a side conversation. Yes. I still haven't learned the spreadsheets, but
yes,
I understand the value. Yes. So you said you didn't know anything about business. You knew dentistry, and
very common.
So what would you if time could go back and you could have met her when she was deciding to venture out into entrepreneurship, what advice would you give somebody like her or in any business of that process?
Sure. I mean, part of the process is that well, first you have to get that experience. So that's the key, critical. You have to have a talent. You have to have the experience. You have to be able to do something. Second piece is if you want to have a business, not everyone who's good at whatever their craft is good at being in business. But you start laying out the different components of being successful in business, which one is figuring out who your market is, figuring out, how you're going to go and touch those individuals, figuring out what kind of revenues could you possibly be getting from that marketplace.
Okay.
Figuring out, like in Dr. Regis' case, figuring out, okay, I've assumed this business, what kind of attrition or what losses am I going to have? Because a lot of people are very loyal to, like you.
I knew this guy. I am a brand loyalist. However,
very loyal to one individual. If that one individual isn't there, they lose all thought process. So they're going to leave and go someplace else. So you have to understand that component of it as well. You have to understand the financial backing that you need to be able to have in order to sustain yourself, to being able to survive. How many employees do you have?
Currently, I have 2, and I have a part-time specialist that comes in.
Right.
So 3.
So you have that, and then you have, on top of that, all of the health benefits that you need to do for them, all of the HR-related kinds of things that you have to have because you have employees. And all of that other stuff, most individuals that are good at doing whatever it is, dentistry or engineering or being an attorney or whatever it is, usually don't like to do that other stuff. So you have to have a bit of an affection to be able to do that other stuff. I was lucky from the standpoint of I'm very good at being an engineer, but I'm better at doing a lot of that other stuff. Having all of these different things to do really excites me.
Okay.
So that's why we've been able to be very successful, because I get into the chase of a new project. I get into figuring out how to reorganize our corporation to work more efficiently and better, figuring out financially what's going on with our books and how could we tweak some things and make sure that we're paying attention to the right lead indicators and lag indicators and making sure KPIs, all of those little things that are going on, gives me information so we can make decisions on where to go, figuring out what regions and markets to go into, right? So that's the next evolution. Okay, she has one location here. Do I do another location? How do I expand? How do I get more market share?
Dr. Regis, have you, so you are downtown, you're on the Gold Coast, 233, is it
East Erie Street.
233 East Erie Street. And what kind of dentistry or practice what's your specialty?
So I'm a general dentist, and now prior to that, I would just focus on a little bit of everything. As you know, with general dentists, we do a little bit of everything, and then there are specialists. But now my focus is cosmetics and a little bit deeper than just cosmetics, but musculoskeletal harmony, and that just means that you want to make sure that whatever you put in is harmonious with muscles and the joint.
So, like, no Steve Harvey teeth is what you're saying. Wow. I'm sorry. That was my outside voice.
She just really
choppers. He got choppers. I mean, y'all know, I'm sorry, cuss word. I'm just saying a lot of people put stuff in their mouth that I can tell is not supposed to be in there.
What, like a grill?
Exactly, right? Well, those are actually kind of the fake, the ones you can take out, but when the people get the gold teeth, like the wrap, that's not healthy, is it? To get that,
I mean, as long as they take it out and clean it, and it depends.
Yeah.
Jesus. Please clean it.
You know,
that has to be stinky.
I'm sure, like Plies. You know, I love Plies. I bet you he don't clean here. I'm just saying, I love him, but I don't. He don't look. It look yucky in there.
You don't sleep in that.
Well, you're not supposed to sleep in it. I can just see some of them. Leave my grill alone.
No, do not sleep in that, please.
Y'all heard it from the doctor. Do not sleep in the grill and then call her and say, can you fix it? But some of the teeth are a little too big for some of them people's mouths. I'm just telling you. I've seen it. Like, I don't know the people, but when you can't really close your mouth because of the teeth you got put in. Let me tell you something. Like, you can't have Fire Marshal Bill teeth, and
and you have to study, symmetry, facial symmetry. You just can't.
So you found a niche.
Yeah, you have to differentiate yourself from other people, because there are hundreds of you just put in dentists and hundreds of dentists pop up. So what makes you different? What makes you different?
Now, what you're doing, you're going to be the only one in Illinois that has a certification.
The only black female doing this.
You're of the girl.
If there's anybody else doing bioaesthetics, please call me, because we need to talk. Because
congratulations.
Thank you. But you see something in your patient base, and you say, I recognize that there is an issue, that there is, even though I saw a lot of patients with beautiful teeth. I mean, there are a lot of very talented dentists out here. I'm just going to give it up for them, and we get a bad rap, but I've seen some amazing work. But I've also seen them fall apart, and that's what made me question what is going on. Yes, they may look beautiful, but is it in harmony with the rest of your body?
So you're saying, based on the work that you may get, it may also affect your body.
Absolutely.
And how you're able to function just as a human being.
Yeah, form is function. If you look at an eagle,
And that's what you're completely focused on.
yes, absolutely. Form is function. Teeth look beautiful. If you look at teeth and you say, like, I can look at you and say, my gosh, you have a beautiful smile. But at the same time, you want to make sure the reason why it's beautiful is because the form of it. There are reasons why teeth, some are longer, some are shorter, some are sharper. So you have to look at each individual tooth and say, this has a function to it. So everything works together, because teeth are nothing but, and a lot of people don't know this, teeth are nothing but little proprioceptive nerves, and it tells the muscles to do something. And when the muscle is told to do something, then the jaw moves, So you want to make sure everything fits and it's harmonious with the skeleton. And, again, I didn't want to get too technical because people are like, what?
Well, they can always visit your website because you got a cool promotion going on. But you can go ahead and finish.
But, you just want to make sure that, whoever you go to, whether it's me or whoever, the very many talented, people there, when you ask for veneers or crowns or whatever it is that you want to improve your smile and something's being put in that's not part of your body, you want to make sure that you're not going to have pain. You're not going to have TMD issues, because I have a lot of patients in my
What
office.
is TMD?
It's a temporomandibular joint disease. So it's the joint that kind of moves your lower jaw. And a lot of people have headaches and joint pain. So if you ever wake up and you're kind of rubbing your muscles here, you could be clenching at night. That could be it. But if you've had like a whole bunch of veneers and they're breaking off, that's not normal.
They didn't pay all that money. What is it? A veneer is so. What's the difference in a veneer versus another cosmetic tooth?
So there's veneer, there's dental bonding. So veneers are actually you're removing permanently your natural tooth structure. So you're never going to get that back.
Why would somebody do that? Shouldn't that be like an extreme case?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, you have a beautiful smile, like I said, like Wilbur too. Wilbur, you have a beautiful smile.
I got some fangs. I got pointy teeth.
That's a function. They're supposed to be pointy.
So does that mean I'm a vampire?
Yeah.
What is? You're not a vampire. You know I don't like scary movies. Don't say that.
Yes.
What is the function of a fang? He said a fang. That's not the right term. He said
That's
fang.
okay. We can call it fang.
Okay.
Eye tooth,
What?
fang.
Eye tooth. Okay.
But I don't know if I've heard it all.
She said no. That's not a fang.
It's
We
not
said
a
that. We say that
fang.
in the hood.
It's
That's a
not-
hood thing. Who knew? It's an eye tooth. You have eye like not. You have iPhone and now you have eye teeth.
Got it.
In a
I got
nutshell,
fangs.
it's you got fangs, but in a good
That's
way.
that Blackstone.
In a good way. He won't hurt you. He won't hurt you.
So what is the function of it? I'm curious.
So anterior teeth are, of course, to incise food, which is to rip food, but also when you're talking, when you're eating, it's to kind of protect the molars.
Which are the ones
The back
behind
teeth.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when you're moving in side to side, which is lateral front to back, like I said, they're little nerves. So when they touch, and if you look at Wilbur's, smile Wilbur, when those two canines, which is a technical term for them, they
canines.
touch, they lift those back teeth up. So there's no contact with the back teeth because molars are meant for grinding food. And they also need to be sharp. And when you start noticing your canines are flat or your molars are flat, then it's a system function in your joints and your muscles. Something's going on and you're putting too much pressure on them.
Okay. Now that you said that, when most of the people that I've seen that have had dental work, they're all even. That couldn't be good then.
No.
Okay.
You don't want them all even.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't want them all even.
I think we're ignorant in the truest sense of the word, that when we think of pretty teeth, we think of this piano. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's obviously, now we know that that's not.
Yeah. You don't necessarily want that. I mean, everybody's a little different in terms of their length. So I can't put Wilbur's teeth in my mouth. It just wouldn't look right because there has to be some form of.
Because Wilbur wants to keep his teeth.
Amen.
Yeah. And that's why I think that dentistry has a bad rap, because a lot of times people go in for pain. It's like, okay, my tooth hurts. I need it out now, And you'll have offices like that will take care of your pain. But when it comes to in my practice, we sit and we talk for the first appointment. So for me specifically, if you're there to come in and get your tooth pulled and leave, I may not be your cup of tea because I want to know your family history. I want to know everything. I want to know health history because this will help me diagnose what's going on intraorally in your mouth.
I wish there were more dentists that had the passion and the understanding for that, because I can say that the disparity in Black dental care versus our white counterparts, that's been the norm for many, many years. You go in, you pull it out, like take it out. And so you have people my mom's age that have lots of teeth missing because that was the remedy. Yeah. It wasn't fix it or what's your history. It was just pull it out because it's a bum tooth.
Yeah, we need to keep all our teeth, except for the wisdom teeth, of course. But it's really important. They all work together, and there's a reason why God put them there. There is a reason why they're all there. They need to work together. If you take out a tooth, it's like taking out your little finger. It's like,
I love that. I'm feeling a little bit disloyal right now because I just kind of want to go sit in your chair. I go to the dentist probably way too much, but
it's not a bad thing.
Dentists all fun stuff.
It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. And the dentist, the group of people that I work with have that same passion. You just have to find what you're looking for. Some people don't want the kind of dentistry I provide, and that's okay. Some people want I need to get in and get out. I have things to do, or they can afford it, and I respect that, So you just have to, there's so many dentists, you can find somebody that fits what you're looking for, but, you can't just, walk into every office, just like in every business, you may not like one cupcake from the other. You can't say, I want, Molly's Cupcakes and Jewel. It's like, we don't have it, sorry.
Right, right.
Go to Molly's.
Go to Molly's, right.
It's true. So how big do you want to get as far as an operation?
Hello, Brian.
No, I mean, it's important to have those kind of thoughts while you're building your business. And you may have a goal today that may change.
Yeah. I didn't want to get big. And here's why. Because I love the one-on-one with my patients. Because we'll sit and talk. And some of my patients came to my wedding, by the way. That's how close we get, because that's the relationship I build with my patients. Because how will you treat somebody if you don't get to know them? But I don't have a choice but to grow, because we're busy, and I'm so grateful. I'm thankful for that. So I have to grow, and my hope is that when I do that, I don't lose
that one-on-one.
Right.
So
right. Has the pandemic affected you at all?
No, not at all.
Good.
And I think because people are like, I got to get in, but we have to be very cautious as healthcare providers, because I don't see as many people as I used to, because we have to be, we have aerosol that's coming in our face, so we can't have too many people in the office. So we've scaled down the number of people that we can have in the office at once, because I have to protect myself and my family, my employees' family and themselves. So we kind of scale down for that reason. But it's people have come in, they are recognizing, I think because they were quarantined and some people were having a lot of pain, stress is a factor. Grind, yes, a lot of stress. Grinding, now we have these masks that are like protruding our jaw. It's a lot of pressure, and that can affect the way your teeth fit together as well. So that can introduce grinding and things like that. But
mask wearing can cause that.
Yeah, especially those at night. Wear them. I'm not saying
for sure.
Don't wear them.
Yeah.
Wear them. Social distancing. Wear them. But also imagine, I wear these every day, all day. And I get off work and I'm, kind of rubbing that muscle in there. So there are a lot of factors. Family history, genetics. Personal hygiene, that's a big thing, but there are so many things there.
It's amazing how you always think you're going to the dentist for the teeth, but this is it's
one system.
Yeah.
So it can affect back pain. Patients that come in, I'm like, I have neck pain, I have back pain.
Headaches.
Headaches. It could be attributed to just teeth. It's really amazing what teeth can do. If they're off, if they don't fit together, we have to compensate. Our body compensates. And that area in the joint, just like your knee joint, your elbow joint, It's a small system. It's a small area. So it has just a few places to go. So if it's moved in any way, imagine what'll happen to the muscles. Imagine it's connected to your head, you know, your neck, you know. So our muscles, which we have hundreds of muscles in our face, and they work specifically for a reason. As I'm talking, I have multiple muscles working right now, you know. And if my teeth are hitting in the wrong way, like if my molars are hitting and they're not hitting together, the muscles just go crazy. It's like, all right, tells the brain to move everything out of the way, and the joint moves out the way. So now it's like, now it's bracing. Imagine me holding on to you for a significant amount of time and I can't let go. I'll get tired. My arms will get tired, you know, and I can't drop it because I have to keep it in that position in order for everything to function. So it's a lot.
It's fascinating for me. I'm like the weird kid who loves the dentist, but it is.
Yeah.
I don't think that I could go to school and actually do it, but it is.
You could do anything.
Who runs the world? Yay, girls. It's for real black girl magic. So Wilbur mentioned the pandemic, and I know you mentioned in a conversation we had that you are now doing telehealth. How has that transitioned in the pandemic, or were you doing that pre-pandemic?
I was not.
Okay.
I was not. So it's actually a little different from telehealth. It's virtual smiles consultations for cosmetic work. So a lot of patients that come in, especially nowadays, I don't know, I think because of the mask, people are like, I may as well get it done. You know, I have a mask on, nobody will know the difference.
Right, that's true.
Right? It's like, that's a big thing. So a lot of times when my patients will come in like, hey, doc, I was thinking of getting veneers. And then that's chair time business. That's chair time that I just don't have, that I can't just sit and talk to you about your options. So I introduced virtual smile consults. So basically what you can do is comfort your own home or at work, if your boss allows it, take a selfie, you know, of your smiling full face, you know, just like that.
So, yeah. So we're going to
That's my
demonstrate.
model.
I'm not a good selfier, but okay. So I would do this.
So you'd smile, normal smile.
I don't.
Not normal smile, John.
Okay. And then what would I do?
And then a closer one of your teeth. Of your teeth together.
Okay.
And then you would tell me what you don't like about your teeth.
Okay.
Okay. And then I would just give you.
And I would text you this, or
yeah. So there's if you go into, I have a
put
Instagram
your link
page.
in here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Instagram
Smile.
or Smile Virtual. You can go to my landing page.
Okay. And what's your Instagram? So I can put it in here as well.
Dr. Lighton Regis.
IG. Okay, you can talk while I
so there's a link in there, and then you can just upload your selfie in there, and then you just say, hey, I don't like how my front tooth looks, or I want color, or anything that you don't like about your smile, because some people are afraid. They don't know what the dentist is going to say, right? You'll come in, oh gosh, we need to take it all out. No. Right?
Put the mask back on.
Put the mask about. Whoa, get out. I can't do that.
I'll be right back.
What is the weirdest thing that you've been asked to do? I mean, have someone ever said, hey, I just want to color all my teeth green?
I'm sure somebody out there has said something like that before.
You know, I think
people
the
like to color
thing,
their hair. They may want to color their teeth.
There you go. Nobody's the weirdest thing I've ever had, and somebody wanted a denture with a gold tooth, but that's not all.
Yeah,
that's, I have
down south.
Oh, but you can take that out, right?
The
Dentures,
denture?
you can.
Yeah, they come
okay.
out. Yeah, please take them out.
Right.
Please do.
She's like,
every day.
She must have seen it not taken out before, because she means take it out
every night and clean it.
Okay, and so I text you or inbox you this picture on Instagram, and then you create a consultation.
So yeah, I record probably depending on what you don't like,
okay,
and what I see. And I'll record probably about a 2 to 5 minute video, just giving you the possibilities with video examples of like pictures of previous patients that we can do maybe 4 veneers, we can do 5 veneers. This is not a diagnosis.
Okay.
I will not diagnose you because I have never met you. We need x-rays. So
Sure.
please, this is not a diagnosis. But this is to kind of let you know what the possibilities are. Number 1, what the possibilities are. Number 2, how many appointments. And number 3, the most important, the cost.
The other doctor.
The cost.
Right.
Full transparency. Full transparency, because dentistry can be quite expensive. And this is something, and a lot of times patients will leave the chair and be like, oh, I remember you mentioned this, and you don't remember. This is recorded for you. So you can play it to your husband or your friend and say, hey, what do you think? Or if you want to see another dentist, you know, if you have somebody already that doesn't do this, you can say, this is what was proposed. What do you think? You know, because I haven't met you. If you're my patient, I've met you, so I kind of know. But if you're not an existing patient, then it's, you know, the dentist might say, okay, well, we need to get a couple of, you know, household items taken care of before we can proceed.
That's actually pretty cool. A pretty cool concept, and pretty cool of you to be unselfish enough to give that without knowing if that person is actually going to follow through with being your patient, or take that and go to, you know, how the girls do with this surgery, you know, take it and go to the Dominican. And get
dangerous stuff.
Yeah. But you know, often people are looking for the easiest route, not the most healthy or
cheapest route.
Cheapest route. Yeah.
I mean, because I, you know, when people know I'm a dentist, whether I'm at the airport or the store, I'm like, can you, what can you do?
Does that happen to you?
All the time. I'm like, babe, don't tell them.
So I won't do that today.
No, it's common, but I'm like, I can't see it. You can't see it.
Somebody asked, should you have all of the fillings replaced if you are tasting the metal filled over 55 years ago? Hecky yeah.
It might not be a bad idea. 55 years ago.
That's my auntie.
That's must be a silver filling. Is that right?
Is it Auntie Vivian? Is that a silver filling? Let us know.
Yes, it looks. She said metal.
Okay.
So I'm assuming it's probably time to get that changed. Yeah. I wonder if it's breaking down intraorally. Yeah.
So fillings used to be all metal. Yeah. And now that you can get like white stuff. What's the difference?
One is silver, one is white.
I'm saying, is it not a metal? No. Break it down to baby levels for me.
I mean, composite, which are the white fillings, are of course most aesthetic, and a lot of people are afraid of the mercury content in the silver fillings. You know, a lot.
So the composite has no metal.
No metal whatsoever. Okay. So if you have an allergy to metal. Because there are trace amounts of different types of metal, even though the strength is paramount in silver fillings.
But it's ugly.
Yeah.
I mean.
If you look at.
Well, if you have a lot of them, I guess. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the strength of it is better.
The strength, but you get some if it's placed correctly, it can last a significant amount of time.
She said, yeah.
She said, yes, they're metal. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
It's
auntie, go to the dentist.
Yeah, it's probably time to get them changed, get some x-rays done, make sure there's no underlying issues underneath that metal filling, and just, make sure it's healthy. Because if it's breaking down and you're tasting it, there might be an issue in there.
I would wager to say a lot of older
saying,
people.
Yeah, like I could be a dentist.
It's not that hard.
Yeah. Your brain for science is different, so that you probably do hear it differently than I. That's why I asked the question about metal versus not.
I'm assimilating to being a doctor.
Yeah.
Dr. Millhouse.
No. That's me.
That's you.
That's me. I had that conversation last week. Even though there is a Dr. Millhouse in our family, your auntie, but I'm still gonna say I'm the original.
Okay.
I'm just gonna take her title. She's like a TikTok star. She's like Insta star. Your auntie. I'll tell you about that. She had like 40,000 followers because she do TikTok.
I don't even know about it.
So, okay, metal is different than white, stronger. So is the cost different?
Yes. It's the white is more expensive.
Okay.
Marginal. It depends whether you have insurance or not, but it's a little bit more expensive, and it's more time consuming to place.
Okay. Okay. Do you accept all insurances?
No, not anymore.
Okay.
I accept some, but not all. Yes.
Okay. Protect yourself. You kind of have to.
This is where the conflict is with business.
She wants to get paid.
Yeah.
Well, if you imagine, our overhead in dentistry is high, especially for general dentists. It is extremely high. It can range. You want it to be at 50, 60%, but it can go up to 70%, because especially if you're looking at quality, which is what I do, I don't buy cheap materials, Sorry, babe.
I think that's wonderful, though, that you remind me a lot of Mr. Millhouse, because I'm not going to lessen myself. I'm just going to work in my space. And he says that often. Don't compromise what you you bring to the table. We had this conversation around school time back over in Inglewood, when you just would not compromise. And does it cost you a deal? Maybe yes, but in the long run, you've not compromised the integrity of what you do.
Yes. Don't go to any dentist that compromises that, because I say this very carefully, because money is an issue. But when it comes to your health, a lot of people don't know what their fillings look like. It's like you will never know what your filling looks like. Another dentist will. It's like, oh my gosh, who did this? So that's one thing, right? You don't go in your mouth and say, oh, that's a terrible looking filling. Does it hurt? How long is it going to last? That's what you care about, right? Yeah. But that's all part of it. And because you have to pay for in anything, you have to pay for quality. So does your dentist. So insurance companies don't allow that.
Gotcha.
The reason is because the compensation is very low. And a lot of people don't know that. So, we accept insurance because we're in this business to help.
Sure.
That's what we're here for. But at the same time, we have families to consider. We want to keep our doors open, and we want to provide that one-on-one, which I think everybody appreciates, versus just say, okay, Miss So-and-so, okay, and they're kind of running from door to door, which some offices are like that. If that's your cup of tea, then they have that.
Definitely not ours. We like to have our doctors on speed dial on our phones. We're like, hey, good morning. I know you're not up yet, but
text them.
Yeah, it's facts. Yeah.
So getting a little bit back to some of the business pieces. Okay. You acquired a firm, has some attrition. Yeah. You are in a good groove with your customer base. You have a niche market now. So what does the future bring as far as where you're going?
Right now, it's looking like it's just getting better and better. What does that mean? Currently, I have 3 chairs. So it's just me. I have my office manager and my assistant, who are phenomenal. I have a great team in the office. And I'm always trying to build the out of the office team, meaning accountants, marketing, website, and things like that. So right now, we look at things differently. We look at chairs. So the number of chairs that you have, the more you can produce in the office, meaning that you can provide, if you choose to, same-day dentistry. So if somebody comes in pain, you can't say, well, I have another patient. You just keep it moving and saying, okay, why don't you have a seat in here? We'll take care of you, but I have another patient here. But at least they'll be taken care of on that day. So it's about adding more chairs to provide that care, because right now I have 3 that I, move from chair to chair. You also have to add auxiliary to help with that. So more assistance, which I'm also looking to get a dental hygienist, which is somebody that cleans your teeth.
Yeah.
Right. Also looking at another producer, and I hate to call it that, but another dentist. Sorry, my dental peeps. But another dentist, you know, who can come in and help, but somebody with similar philosophies, which is the most difficult to find because
So how are you going to get that? Are you going to bring someone in that was young like you and train them up? Yeah. Or are you going to try to find...
I try to find somebody who had the experience, but our philosophies are so different, very different. And you have to have that because if somebody in your practice, especially an employee who's a dentist, says, I don't believe in what you're doing or I don't know how to do what you're doing, then it's all for nothing because you have two conflicting ideas. So you probably, I would want to bring somebody who's kind of new and fresh, you know, and teach them the ropes. And that's what I want to do and say, hey, this is in my 14 years experience here. This is what I want to teach you because it was a hard road, even though I came from a background of people who are entrepreneurs in business. It's been a tough road. It has not been easy, again, because I had known nothing about business, you know, so I've learned everything on the way. And if you're a dental student, please take any kind of business course. Take it. Your first year out, take a business course. Take it. It's going to save your butt many days of, okay, well, what's going on here?
That makes sense, though. The business of dentistry, like the business of engineering.
Or the business of anything.
Business of anything. Right.
Most successful actors and artists fail because of what? They don't have the business side together.
Sure.
Yeah, it's a lot that goes into it. Who's your target audience? How are you going to get them into your office? You know, your overhead, are you spending too much on the quality? Do you need to scale back? Do you need to add more patients? So these are the things that you really need to consider. What type of dentistry do you want to do? Do you want to accept insurances? I mean, these are all the things. If you're willing to accept insurances, what are your write-offs? And you need to know to look at your accounts and say, how much am I writing off? You know, are they giving me what I'm worth? You know? And if you've been practicing for, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, you have to determine what you're worth at the end of the day. Know your worth.
So you have grown a company in 19 years from you as an employee, the employee, the boss, to over 250 people internationally. 300 international. So, in several phases. What advice would you give Dr. Regis as she begins to do that, differently? Okay, we're going to take a commercial break, Esco, and come back, and we're gonna see how fast, how many years we're gonna get Dr. Regis to 300.
I need to write this down.
You're listening to the Book of Dawn. Let's get down to business. Millhouse Monday, last Monday of every month, talking to a premier dentist in Chicago about all things teeth. And Steve Harvey, if you're watching or somebody, tag him on this post because I need to get him an appointment. We'll be right back.
WIFTBPM. Minding our Black-owned business. I have a good friend with us this morning. I'm so excited. Jonathan Swain is here. KimBarkBeverage.com. We tend to talk about business a lot. We both are in family businesses. Was this the plan? Because you are second generation business owner.
Yeah. No, actually, I'll talk about it from my father's perspective, and I'll talk about it from my perspective. His perspective, he did not want me to be in this business. The liquor business has a sordid history. They call it a sin business. I mean, it's less that now, but it had a very sordid history. He didn't want me to do this. He wanted me to go off to school. My father was the first person to fire me at 9 years old. I was supposed to be at work at 11 o'clock, and I showed up 5 minutes late, walked me outside, and fired me. And I'll never be late again. So I appreciate him for that. I walked home. My mother said, well, what happened? I said, Dad fired me. What happened? I was late. He said, well, you got fired. You're late. Can't be late. Told you to get up and leave. My side of it, in many ways, I have a very unique rearing experience in that I've never seen my father work a job. So when I was born, my dad was an entrepreneur. Growing up, it's, I'm going to own my own business. I'm going to be in business doing something, controlling my own destiny in some ways. In particular, my father's generation relative to us, there's not a lot of information transfer about how that works. And there's not a lot of context. It's kind of, I'm going to keep you away from the struggles I had so you don't have them. But in not seeing the struggles, you don't know how to get through the struggles. But as I've gotten older and we developed a relationship and talked about it, I began to understand a lot of the bumps and the bruises and the challenges and what makes entrepreneurship and business ownership not for the weak and weary. All the success I've had in business has been a function of with my parents. As fortunate as I am and people look to my business story, there is no business story but for them and what they did. I mean, my dad was the first black business owner in Hyde Park in the 1970s. Hyde Park, though it's welcoming and inclusive now, wasn't always that way.
Yeah.
There are a lot of stories that he would tell us about the challenges that he had being a black-owned business in Hyde Park back in the 1970s. That success comes from their legacy ultimately.
So what see a bad mother.
WIFTVPM.
Welcome back to the Book of Dawn with Dr. Regis.
And let's talk about business with Mr. Millhouse, Dr. Millhouse. Before the break, we talked about how you grew your business from employee number one to where you are now. Do you have advice?
I will, but every business is a bit different related to how much you want to grow. That's why I was asking those questions. Not every business needs to get to 300 or 1,000 or 5,000 or whatever.
Okay.
Depends on what you feel you want to do and what your niche is and how much you want to take on. I mean, my payroll is $1 million every 2 weeks. So
every time you say that, I almost faint.
Not everybody wants to deal with $1 million payroll every 2 weeks.
Big facts.
Because that means you have to be moving cash.
Maze, are you listening? Did you hit a payroll? Can we get ours up to $500,000? No, I'm just kidding.
So it's really about, as you become an entrepreneur and figuring out how much you want to take on versus how much money you want to make versus what your different business lines will allow you to do.
Gotcha.
And so that, to me, is one of the most important parts. What I'm hearing from Dr. Regis is she wants to definitely still be hands-on, maybe get to 1-2 different producers.
I'm sorry.
You guys don't like that word? Is that not?
I hate that because
which would sound like to me that's about 9 chairs, 6 to 9 chairs. I mean, if you got one producer, 3 chairs.
About 1-2 chairs, per producer.
So that kind of gives you an amount of square footage that you're going to need to be able to have, how many different employees you're going to need, how many different clients you're going to need to have as far as flow, because, as I always tell you, you have to have
asses and seeds.
If you don't have asses and seeds, you're not making money. Yeah. And it's very different for all of our different businesses. But I think she's definitely doing all of the pieces related to having that growth. Mm-hmm. This is called organic growth now. I mean, she did the acquisition, so now it's that organic part that's, a little different, which is healthy.
Okay, that makes sense. And then grow as once she, increases her base of clientele, and then obviously the money for the reinvestment.
Right. And the secret, because it's a service business, is the people. So if you don't have the right person who's working with you that aligns, as you mentioned, it doesn't work.
Gotcha.
That one person will run all your clients away.
Yeah. Flywheel concept.
The flywheel, absolutely.
The flywheel concept. So in that, obviously that's not a rush. That process requires kind of like a prospectus of all those numbers and maybe like a one.
Yeah, that's part of your business plan, and your business plan changes over time.
Okay.
And basically building those factors in there, and it's trying stuff. I mean, one of the new pieces in which she has that is new. She's going to see over the course of the next few years how that grows. It may take off like gangbusters, and she may change her entire business plan because of it.
If there's an answer for this, is there a healthy time to revisit the business plan, or like how often do you use that as the template, or how often do you revisit?
I'm always thinking about our business plan, and so I'm always circling it about. So it's never not on my mind.
Okay.
It's just more of, if you're in a functionality standpoint, how often do you go back and physically change it? I think you should revisit it easily every 6 months.
Okay.
To physically go and look at it and validate. I mean, for us, beginning of the year, we had our goals. We were going after what our plan was for this year. Pandemic hit. As soon as the pandemic hit, I pulled all my group together. So early April, we were revisiting it.
Gotcha.
So we had just put everything in place late January, but early April, because everything had kind of shifted, in our delivery methods. All of our people were working from home versus being in our office. So we revisited our business plan and started to assess all of our different clients. Okay, it's affecting this client in our aviation space, but our utility space is affected differently.
Gotcha.
So for us, it was different in that way. That's why it asks, how has the pandemic affected you related to just your movements? You said there's been some changes related to just some of the things and how you interact with patients, and how many you can have at one time. So that could be a limiting factor.
It is a limiting, yeah.
Gotcha. Interesting. So you said that people, obviously the city regulations initially, you were affected by them,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
We shut down.
But now those services, you can still work.
Yes. So, like I said, it's on an individual basis because we're private, so it just depends on your dentist, how they practice. But we're following regulations to a T in my office. So I'm talking full on PPE, cleaning down, making sure everything is wiped down. We have filters, HEPA filters, in the office.
In the office, yeah.
Barriers. So we try and I always want to reiterate, a lot of patients feel that, oh my gosh, should I be here? We're more affected because of the aerosol that's flying out of your mouth to us. So we're taking the risk.
Interesting.
Yes, and I want people to really understand, whoever your dentist is, they are taking a big risk. So really respect that, and be on time for your appointment, and be on time.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot because
I don't think people understand that even 15 minutes late for you is the loss of another timely, basically transaction, for lack of a better term, with the next, who would judge you.
Affects the next
which
person.
exactly
Yeah, it affects the next person.
And it's like a trickle down effect.
It does, and we've made it so convenient. I mean, we have the Weave system. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but basically, texting. I mean, you have access to us. The computer sends reminders 1 week, 2 days before your appointment, and you can text and say, on the way, or I'm 10 minutes late. Or we make it so convenient in our office. We're trying to stay on top in terms of technology, and that's another thing, that's going to also drive your practice up, because, the workflow, when you're including a lot of technology in your practice, makes the workflow a little bit more efficient. I'm not necessarily saying better, but more efficient, So we try and make it convenient for patients in terms of contacting us during emergencies, out of hours, so we can just send us a text. And I don't know if I should say this, but you always have access to me.
Yeah, don't tell me, because in this one, because we will get up and call you.
I think I opened up a rabbit hole. Sorry, Sharon.
Dr. Regis, I think my fang, I'd to just turn to the. Yeah, but to me, that's old school medicine. I like being able to text my doctor or call, and I like the immediacy and I like the attention, even when I get on her last nerve, that there's value in that to me. That's like old school practices. Mm-hmm. What if your clients called you all night? Jesus.
They have my cell phone.
They do have your cell. Wow, that would be a lot of. I know you get a lot of calls from Nigeria.
Well, whenever I get a call, then it's bad.
Oh gosh,
it's real bad.
I agree.
It's real bad.
It's usually through my office manager, and if she calls me, I'm like,
Right.
Then I have to then count all of the people that client was being taken care of by, and say they passed up you and you and you to call me.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's real bad.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did y'all hear that? Malachi, are y'all watching? Which is another part of business, right? Because people have to understand their responsibility at every level, from who answers your secretary to whoever's doing appointments to your hygienist.
It's a lot in the background. It's a lot in the background because we have office meetings. We want to make sure that that appointment is catered to you. We have instruments that we have to, everything is customized for that particular procedure and the patient. If we know that the patient is a little nervous that day, we know to extend the time so we can chat about family and what cookies did you eat yesterday and why are you eating cookies?
Right. That part. And you didn't floss before you came?
Yeah, so it's a lot in the I'm sure you can attest to this, Wilbur, but there's a lot that goes in the background before somebody.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, it's just so when you sit in, it's like, oh, that was only 30 minutes, but the preparation.
It's part of the overhead.
I was going to say that.
It's totally part of the overhead. She talked about overhead being around 60% and sometimes higher, closer to 70. It's part of what you're paying for. It doesn't only just happen for the 30 minutes that you're sitting in the seat.
It's happened before.
Huge. That's huge to say out loud, even if you've never heard it, but even
it's really just understanding all of your costs.
Yeah.
These are all costs that happen.
I just don't know that all of us that go into business understand how to place a value with that. But it is absolutely important to say and to say out loud, because it's not just that minute I walk in the room and that 29 minutes later. It's a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
I think this is a great platform to kind of tell people what, the background is, of, business owners, whatever it is, whatever space that you're doing, that there is a lot that goes into preparing for that one person or whatever it is that you do for that client. It's not just, and whatever it is you receive, it's, it days and weeks and months of preparation and planning and paperwork and time. Many people are involved in that one person.
I don't know that we respect, and I'm not saying we as an I, but in general, that we respect that process from the understanding that from the outside as a patient, or, like, okay, I'm late. You know what I'm saying? That to me is kind of like what most of us do. Okay, I'll get there. But when you say it like that, it makes a huge difference, because that there is time on the back end that we're being disrespectful of.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, most people have to really get a grip on time. It's like some of my friends that go and drive all the way to Indiana to go get gas. And I go, why are you driving all the way to Indiana to go get gas to save, 20 cents, 30 cents a gallon, 20 gallons, that's $6.
Yeah.
You've spent an hour.
You know that everybody does not have a numbers brain like you, including your wife.
You saved $6, but you've spent an hour. So is your time worth $6?
Look, you said you wouldn't mind being a fly on the wall. That conversation has been had in my house.
I'm telling you, you're hilarious.
Why would you do that?
Yeah,
I want my hour to, even if I'm just relaxing, I want that hour.
What's it?
Your hour is better served figuring out how you're going to make more money.
You said something a long time ago about time. Like, if you waste if I spend 10 minutes with you, I can't remember exactly what, but there's
cost benefit.
Yeah, when you said something like, I have it written down somewhere, because it was like it's what taught me to be on time, actually.
Oh,
Obviously,
you're
when we
late?
got married, I was a little tardy often. But he told me this: if somebody talks to you for 10 minutes and something about 8 minutes,
time assassins.
yeah, time assassin. I was like,
Lord.
oh, you just okay. I'm gonna do better. And I got better.
No, that's different. That's different. That's when somebody really has to talk to you. And
Time assassin. I'm not a time assassin anymore.
They
She's
grab all of your time.
look at her over there doing the
That's
assassin.
time you can never get back.
Yeah.
That time has been killed.
Yeah.
Reclaim my time.
Yeah. Killed.
Killed.
Time assassin.
So
that
it's
was
been
it.
assassinated.
Yeah. Dead.
Dead.
Gone. Dead. Black speak. Dead. I'm real quick. I have to just ask you a few questions. But you left Chicago so early. I don't really. But how long have you been back since you were 6? How long have you been back in Chicago?
In Chicago, 13 years.
Okay, I don't know if this is a fair quiz for you, but you already said Jewels, so I know you don't say Jewels. Yeah, Cubs or
Black
White
speak?
Sox?
I don't know.
Okay,
nothing to do.
But
with
we should get them to come to your dental.
Oh, I've
practice.
decided to divorce the Bears, by the way.
You quit them yesterday?
Yes.
Listen.
Well, it wasn't yesterday. I told Mac, I said, you know what? I'm going to start betting against them because this is ridiculous. They don't respect my time. See, this is
Separation.
Assassin.
They don't respect me being a fan and all of the energy and the heartbreak that I've had over all of these years. I'm done. I'm done. I'm betting against them every game.
She's putting on her Bears scarf.
From this point forward until they change the management, maybe change ownership.
Oh,
maybe change ownership. But
can we buy them? Can we buy the Bears?
Can we?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
They're about $1 billion, $1.2 billion.
So in like 5 years, maybe we can buy them? Okay.
I believe that.
Yeah. And we just put that out there, baby. Talk about game changer. That's a whole other show.
I'm mad.
You bigger mad.
I'm mad.
I said the new word is not big mad, it's bigger mad.
Remember, I didn't root for the Cubs until they changed ownership, and then they start respecting their fans.
And
they won.
You will respect my South
They
Park.
taking advantage of y'all. All y'all Bear fans.
You quit them for real.
They taking advantage of y'all. They no longer taking advantage of me.
They will
I'm
not.
done.
But we've been through so much.
What we been? Brother Herb said, "I bet against the Bears for the first time yesterday. It's been an abusive marriage my whole life."
Hey, I gave the guy 14 points. I still won.
Really?
How
Did
you
you
grab
grab
the
the
air?
air?
How you grab the
And then you got to clap
I'm winning off the Bears for the rest of the year.
for the rest of the year. Jesus, Lord, the Bears. Oh, that's the Bears. Lord, Bears, y'all got to get it together. The McCaskies.
You need to sell.
You need to
sell, new management, all that.
The Bears can't get right from Life. Remember the man in Life, the movie Life, can't get right. He just couldn't get it. She's like, no, I was in school.
I'm
like,
indifferent. Sorry.
No.
Sports.
Before we get out of here, I want people to make certain that they support you. I put your Instagram on here. I also put your Smile Virtual. And I'm thinking one day, post-pandemic, I could come in there and we could videotape us having a service and make it like a dentist reality type thing. That would be pretty cool.
Service.
Like,
you gonna have church in there?
Wow, I could go to church. Eric will praise him.
I'm going to pray for you to come back with the Bears. We're going to work this out.
She's
Pray for new ownership and new management.
So
everybody, I want them all gone.
Done.
Clean the slate.
Lock, stock, and
Clean
barrel.
the slate.
You put them out. Eviction notice. Give them Trump one and then them one.
We picked Nick Trubisky. Is that his name?
Trubisky. Yeah. Mitch.
It's because the guy who was traded up for him, he said, he reminds me of me.
Oh, Lord. Lord, L-A-W-D.
I'm just like.
He reminds you of a loser? That's a new song, R. Kelly. You remind me of a loser. Oh, no. Okay. Just not the Jeep, just a loser. So why did we listen to Mitch anyway?
Oh, I mean, why did we listen to this other guy?
Oh, Lord.
Again. Change them all out.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to make sure that you're a guest on the kickback on Sunday. I think they could use your commentary. That would be a riot and a half. him and them, I think you got a job next Sunday.
Done.
Listen, Dr. Regis, it's been, I could probably, because I like teeth, talk to you forever. And you actually broke it down to layman's terms for somebody who is not a STEM first. But Wilbur mentioned something that I think you should re-mention. You, the only black woman in your particular practice in the state.
Specialty, yeah.
Specialty in the state.
Yeah, I'm the only one doing bioaesthetics. Yeah, so I just have never met, currently in the class I'm in, and I'm still currently getting certified in this. None, nobody. The only black people that I see are assistants or auxiliary. And I think, it's not for everybody because it's a process, this particular line of treatment. It's not something that you can just slap on some teeth and go. You have to make sure you have stability. So it's like a personal trainer to get to before we even put the teeth on. So not every patient is going to want to go through that, so, and not every dentist wants to go through that. But I haven't seen anybody that looks like me. And that's why I encourage, a lot of, there are a lot of black dentists in Chicago, more than I think a lot of people know. I have a team of specialists, of different races, but, we definitely work together and talk, South Loop dental specialists, they're my endodontists that I sent to. Phenomenal group of guys as a periodontist and endodontist, Dr. Flowers and Dr. Olguin. Phenomenal. They do amazing work, and they always answer my call, So, and I have oral surgeons that, I work with, orthodontists that I work with, but I do a lot of my own Invisalign because I want the teeth to go in a certain way. So I do my own Invisalign. But I do have a group of people that I work with, multiple endodontists, Dr. Seisel as well, So you have to have that group because you don't, if you don't do everything, I just don't do everything. Some dentists, they do everything. I just choose not to because I focus on this.
Yeah, I prefer that. I don't think I want to go to a Walmart dentist, super Walmart. I don't want you to sell everything. I'm just analogy for the people that don't understand the STEM side. However, because I am married to a STEM professional, I think that saying that is hugely important because we have to encourage our children. We talked about education earlier. We have to encourage our children to be things that they outside of, the typical, and if you're interested or, maybe post-pandemic, our charity, Millhouse Charities, can do some shadowing with you so that we can expose children to women of color in dentistry. I think that would be, you are, and you probably should be on our Instagram. You're something like an anomaly.
I'm learning Instagram.
It's a thing. Yeah, it takes full-time work. You need a whole person to do that.
That's our marketing team.
Yeah, that's a marketing team.
I'm like, what do I post? What do I?
I know because I started following you and I was like, yeah, we got to get these numbers.
I just started, so don't look at my numbers, my followers.
That's okay. We'll look at your reviews, and I look those up too, and they're all good. I mean, you got a hard location, so you got to be good. Superior, you're right. That's by the peninsula.
Yeah, not far. It's literally a magnificent mile, so it's off Michigan Avenue. So it's in front of Northwestern Hospital.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's a definitely
tough neighborhood.
It's a tough neighborhood.
Yeah, high rent. How you know it's high rent?
Because you gotta be shopping there all the time.
Because we live there. That's why.
But we're there.
You're
We're
walking
there.
up and down those streets all the time.
Mr. Millhouse is welcome at the kickoff kickback anytime. That's why they can't drink in here, because them boys be in here with them red cups and stuff. Yeah, kicking it at the kickback. Dr. Regis, will you come back and see us soon?
I would love to.
Good. If you make certain that if your auntie, I call her, y'all. She got a referral system. Let's be clear, she not. Ain't no free 99. I didn't say, I'm not signing off on that, but I'm sure she can send you the direction that somebody can take whatever insurance you may have. Yes. I'm not fronting because before I married Zaddy, I had one of them cards. But, just keeping it 100. Everybody ain't able, and I used to be ain't able. Now I'm Kane. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, I'm sorry, because I get goofy near the end. Listen, here's two things. I thought of this quote for you. A big business always starts small. I thought that was pretty cool when I was like, what quote could we say to encourage you?
Thank you.
Thank you for the work you do. Thank you for representing Black women in such an incredible way. We appreciate you, and I don't know how much you want to go. We just speak life into your business and help you grow. And you can always call Big Bruh and get the whole plan of goal things, because that's what we do when we talk about business with Millhouse. We make sure that we support and guide you to small to big, understanding if you shouldn't do it at all and you should just stay where you're at. Join us I don't know if we'll be in town, but if not, we'll be on video the last Monday in December for the next installment of Let's Get Down to Business. Always pray to have eyes that see the best, a heart that forgives the worst, a mind that forgets the bad, and a soul that never loses faith. You have joined us for another page in the Book of Dawn. Thank you. We appreciate the likes, the stars. Share this. Tell your friends. You can play this back in 2 hours on YouTube and Facebook forever and ever and ever. How about them? How about the Crimson Tide? How about it? Tune in tomorrow for another page in the Book of Dawn. We have Will Kirk Enterprises, talented legacy brother from Chicago, behind the brown door. Peace. And what do we say after we say peace?